Now, imagine that there are two possibilities. One of them is that when you open up, you're actually optimistic and things go well. And another one is that when you open up, things go bad and you're pessimistic. So when things go bad, you're actually in a pessimistic low motion, and when things go well, you're in an optimistic low motion when you open. So basically, poor countries have bad institutions and also have very low probabilities of enforcing, so they have no chance of getting a optimistic equilibrium. That's why we don't actually see an optimistic equilibrium beyond certain threshold. So you have to be rich enough that you get to experience this kind of optimistic equilibrium. So that kind of screws up poor countries because, the risk of default is so high that they don't get any optimistic equilibrium at all. But it depends. If they're so poor that, when they open up, even if they get a pessimistic equilibrium, they still get capital inflows if they're poor enough. The problem is that, when they're a little richer and they open up, this might lead to them experiencing capital outflows and leaving them worse off. So in these cases, opening up for these poor countries will damage them. The key insight from this paper is that when countries become middle income, it opens up the possibility of being optimistic. When they open up, they might be getting a huge capital inflow, and they will converge and grow really fast. Why is this the case? Well, if everybody believes that there will be full enforcement, that there will be no defaults, then everybody repays. And this really is the key insight of the paper. Financial liberalization helps you if you already have relatively developed capital markets. That is, if you have already savings that are really high for a poor country, and if you already have fairly good institutions. That is, if the probability of enforcement is fairly high. But even if you open up and you're a middle-income country, you could also be getting pessimistic runs or panics that will lead you to the pessimistic equilibrium. Thus, you're still in a situation of risk in which you will get a run and you will get tons of capital outflows because basically everybody believes that there will be no enforcement and they run and put their capital somewhere else. That's why you see the capital flies. So this model basically tells us that it is possible that countries which typically have, they have experienced high capital surges, capital inflows, can at some point experience a pessimistic run in which there's tons of panic and investors fly out of the country. They put their money somewhere else. So basically, we can have cases in which you might be here, but then people become optimistic and they think you're pretty good, and you grow really fast and tons of capital come into your country. But then at some point, there is a pessimistic run and people panic and capital flies out of your country, and then you converge here, capital flies in. People are very optimistic, but then they become very pessimistic again. So in this type of model, volatility can be really high after you open up. And financial liberalization can also lead to severe capital outflows, even for countries that are fairly rich. So in this sense, this model can match the data better than the conventional view, in the sense that when countries open up their borders to foreign financial markets, they can experience capital outflows, and also volatility can be increased due to the interplay between optimistic and pessimistic equilibrium. Because in this model, the market sentiment in international financial markets is really important, and it's really going to determine the actual path that your economy follows. And we can see cases like this in which fluctuations in market sentiment may create very interesting dynamics. Thanks for watching.